Hey friends, this is week 9 of art class. Can you guys believe it? So today we are going to be looking at some artwork by an artist named Frida Kahlo. Now Frida Kahlo was a Mexican artist who did a lot of self-portraits. What do you notice about these portraits? Usually the first thing that people notice is that she has a unibrow in a lot of her pictures. Now, why do you guys think that is? In a lot of Frida Kahlo's artwork, she was learning to embrace and love herself for who she is. And even when you look at her photograph, she doesn't have that bad of a unibrow, right? No, there's hardly any hair there, but do you think she might have been a little insecure about it? Maybe so. So in her painting, she was learning to love the way she looked even though she had some insecurities. That's why she painted it even darker than she actually looked in a lot of these pictures, and she totally owned it, and she's incredibly famous now for it. In a lot of her work, she also included things that she liked, which Frida loved animals, and she had lots of pets. So she often included her pets and the things that she liked around her in her self-portraits. Today, we are going to be drawing our own self-portraits, and we're going to be doing some more pattern like we worked on last week. Just to refresh your memory, a pattern is any time you have a repeated shape or shapes. In regular class, you probably will see a pattern like square, circle, square, circle. Now that's still a pattern in art, but the nice thing about art is you can have any shape or line or color be a pattern. So anytime you repeat the same shape over and over and over again, that counts as a pattern. So we're going to be including patterns again this week in our artwork. Remember, if I'm ever going too fast for you in this video, you can pause and go back and watch it as many times as you'd like. If you need help, ask an adult. Today, I'd like you guys to start with a pencil if you can, because if you do something that you don't like, you can always go back and erase it. If you don't have a pencil, no stress, just do your best, and if you don't like it, then try to make that whatever mark that you don't like look like something else. So we're going to start by finding kind of the middle of our page. And once we've found the middle of our page, we want to draw an oval, and it's going to be a tall, skinny oval. So a lot of times people start drawing the shape of their head and they think it's a circle. But if you look at people closely, we actually have oval-shaped heads. And I'm going to press a little harder so you guys can see what I'm doing. So there's our oval. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the middle of our oval. And I'm actually going to even measure it with my fingers. I'm going to do, okay, so from the middle to the bottom, my fingers are this far apart, so I'm going to keep my fingers like this and make sure, yep, same distance from the top to the middle, from the middle to the bottom. So now I know this is my spot. So I'm going to make a teeny tiny mark that you can barely see in that spot. That's going to help me know where the middle of my face is. Now, believe it or not, our eyes are actually in the middle of our head. A lot of people will actually draw your eyes up here, but if you draw your eyes up here, that's your forehead. So you need to make sure you have room for your eyebrows and your forehead. So we have our line in the middle. Now we're going to find this line, and then we want to find a place between this line and the bottom again. So I think the middle between this line and the bottom of the chin is right here. So I'll go ahead and measure it again with my fingers. Let's see. Put my fingers like this. Is it in the same spot? Just about. So that spot right in the middle, I'm going to draw another little line. So I know that that's toward the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing one last time. So I'm going to find this line and the bottom. And I'm going to find the place right between this line and the bottom. So let's find the middle. Do you guys think this is the middle? Okay, let's see. Let's measure it. Right here. Right here. It's about the same. Cool. So I'm going to put one last little line down here. Now, we are going to start thinking about doing our eyes. So up here where our middle line is, we are going to be drawing some eyes. Now, eyes are usually almond shaped or like a football. So on top of my line, I'm going to do a little rainbow. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And I'm going to go over to the other side and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And notice, my eyes are about the same distance apart as they are wide. So it looks like this one's a little too far to the side. I'm going to draw another line so it looks like it's closer. And then, once I'm happy with it, I can go in and erase the line on the inside. And my eraser's not working, so I'm going to have to get a different one. Okay, here's an eraser that works. So now I'm going to erase the line that's inside of my eyes because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to erase the original line that I didn't like because I drew a new one. And once I erase the part on the inside of my eyes, I can erase the line on the outside too because I don't really need that anymore. Alright, now the eyes look kind of weird when they're empty, huh? So let me make them a little dark so you can see them a little better. And they look a little weird and creepy when they're empty. So we're going to fix that. Now we are going to draw the pupil. So I'm going to go inside. And I'm actually, instead of drawing a perfect circle, I'm just going to do a curved line on this side and a curved line on this side because you actually can't usually see the entire iris of a person when you look at them. You can even look in the mirror and see that the very top and the very bottom of your iris is usually covered up by your eyelid. And now, on the inside of this circle, we're going to do another one, but we want to leave a little white spot. So I'm going to do a teeny tiny circle. So a big circle and a little circle, kind of like we did with our cartoons. So I'm going to do circle, but then I'm going to leave a space for a little tiny circle. That's going to be our reflection. Now that I have these eyes drawn, I want to draw the little fold of the eyelid that folds back. So I'm going to do a little line on top of each eye. And this person's I'm missing eyebrows. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to draw myself some eyebrows on top of each eye. Alright, so now I have eyes and eyebrows. Now, I'm sure you're wondering about these two lines down here. This one, that's a little higher, is actually the bottom of your nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little U, and then I'm going to do two little tiny rainbow shapes. And then, now that I know where the bottom of my nose is, I can erase the rest of that line. And I can do some little curved lines on the outside, almost like parentheses. And notice the outside edges of my nose are right under the inside of my eyes. That's a good way to decide how big your nose is going to be. So if you look, the edge of the eye lines up with the nose. That helps if you can't figure out, and you know what, I made mine a little wide on this side. So I can pull it in just a little bit. And I'll draw my line first. And then I'll erase the ones I don't like. Alright, so now I have my nose. And down here is your mouth. And you can decide what kind of face you want to be making. Maybe you want to be happy. Maybe you want to be sad or serious. If you're serious, you can probably just kind of keep this line and then just do your lips. Or you can do a little smile. And yes, boys and girls both have lips. So you can draw a little lip above and below, almost like two little hills, and then a valley on the bottom. So now that you have your basic face, this face needs a body because it's floating and it's a little weird, right? So a mistake a lot of people do is they just draw two straight lines down. Now if you look in the mirror, you actually don't have a very straight neck. And it's not as skinny as you might think. So we're actually going to go all the way out to the edges, and we're going to look underneath the outside edge of that eye. And we're going to draw a curved line out because you actually have a curve where your neck connects to your shoulders. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. A curved line out where it connects to your shoulders. And then after you do your little curved lines out, you curve all the way down, kind of like you're drawing some shoulders. Make sure you have kind of this. What kind of shape is this? It's almost like a curvy corner. That way you have your shoulders. And at this point, You can add whatever kind of shirt you're wearing, up to you. And oh my goodness, my person's still missing ears, right? So a great way to decide where your ears are is to find your eye again. And the top of your ear is usually right next to the middle of your eye. So I'm going to do the top of my ear, and then the bottom of the ear is usually right next to the middle of the nose. So I'll do my ears real quick. And of course, I need hair, right? I'm not bald. So after this, you guys, you are going to customize your picture and make it look like you. Now, I'm going to give myself long hair. If you have short hair, draw your hair. Or if you have curly hair, draw it curly. Mine isn't super curly right now. It's kind of a dry season, so I'm going to start by drawing my hair. And now I want you guys to think about the things that make you unique. Now, Frida, she thought that the little unibrow, the mini unibrow she had going on made her unique, so she added that. I have a few little breakouts right now. That's okay. I'll just add them right here. And today, I'm wearing my hot air balloon earrings. So I'm going to put my hot air balloon earrings. Once you've finished your little portrait part, you are going to add some things around you that you like. Now, Frida liked flowers and she liked nature and animals. So you could add your pets or animals that you like. I think I really like the flower crowns that Frida does, so I'm going to give myself a little flower crown. You don't have to do this unless you really want to. You can give yourself any kind of hat or crown that you like. It could be something that you wear. You could even do a football helmet if you like. It's totally up to you. But you're going to go in and add things that you like all the way around yourself. But the one thing I'm looking for is that somewhere in your background you have a pattern. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Once you finish all that you want to draw and you're happy with it, you can go over your pencil with something like a marker or a pen so that you can see your lines better. After you do that, you can start adding color. If you don't have a marker or a pen, that's all right. Just make sure you press nice and hard on your lines so that you can see all of your wonderful details. Your objectives. Number 1, I can draw myself and add details that make me look unique. I can tell my teacher what those details are in Seesaw. And I can fill the rest of the page with details I like and patterns. So you see I have my leaf pattern, my circles, my hearts. And so make sure you guys fill the rest of the page that isn't filled with details with patterns. Sus objetivos. Yo me puedo dibujar mí mismo y añadir detalles que me hacen único o a. Número 2. Yo puedo dibujar patrones diferentes en el resto de mi página. Yo puedo decir a mi profesora cuáles son los detalles.